Hello, my name is Mario Avila with Westkey Graphics. Currently, I'm in charge of the custom apparel and promotional products. And I would like to show you today all the cool stuff that we can get for your business. I would like to show you the most common decoration for custom apparel. The most basic and more popular, I would say, is the embroidery. Embroidery is something that looks quite professional. Many companies like something durable that lasts longer than the shirt. Literally, it will last longer than the shirt. The most common area to add an embroidery logo usually be the left chest, but it's always an option to have it on the left sleeve or the right sleeve. The most common question I get from customers about embroidery is, what size should I do? How big do I want it? And I always say it's always a personal choice. Some people like it small, little tiny, like the brands, or some people like it quite big to show their brand in a higher level.
Tell us about where embroidery is used.
Embroidery is used on mostly on polos, like this one, the sample that we have right here. And depending on the climate of the area or the province, but it's very common to do it on jackets, soft jackets, parkas, and so on.
So, and hats too?
Embroidery is actually used in hats, winter hats, tuques, beanie mitts, and also in regular ball hats.
What should I know when I'm ordering embroidery?
We always gonna ask for a vector file, preferably. It's the clearest image that we can have to be able to trace your logo and convert it into thread. It's like magic. But we definitely recommend to provide a clear logo, the clearest you got.
What is the most common challenge with embroidery?
The most common challenge is actually the small details on the logo. This is a situation where we actually switch this kind of logo from embroidery into a different kind of decoration, because the needles are larger than the small details on this logo. So this one, I will say that is the highest challenge that we have for embroidery, because the size of the needles.
So what is 3D embroidery?
3D embroidery is a type of embroidery that requires a foam, a soft foam that the operator in the embroidery machine put on top of the hat or a shirt. And after that, the operator will push the button of the machine, and then the embroidery machine will start sewing the logo and cutting the excess of the foam at the same time. That's what it makes the puffy embroidery, which is another name used for 3D embroidery.
What are the common decorations that you'll put on hats?
The most common decoration will be embroidery, definitely. It's very popular on the hats, especially on the front. On the front, you can go full center. You can do right panel, left panel, or size of the hat. You can do your logo on the back of the hat. You actually have another decoration, which is patches. We can add patches to front of the hat. We can actually have it as with different type of materials. We can apply this kind of patches in front of the hats and sew it out into it, and we can apply it in different locations. Another decoration that is very common is a screen printed, or we can heat tramp.
What are some uncommon decorations, and when and how do we use them?
We actually have something called specialty decorations. A perfect example is this hat that we had done for a customer in the past. This hat had embroidery on the brim of the hat on 3D decorations. We got a 3D rubber decoration on the front, woven patch or label on the side of the hat, and inside we have the details of what the company is about. This hat is actually made overseas, since we have a great relationship with overseas factories. We have a minimum of 500 hats if we have to do this specialty hat.
How do I choose what size of logo to put on my hat?
That is a great question, Josh. The most common size on hats is usually be 2 inches logo on the front. But the size of the logo depends on what kind of profile the hat is. So we have 3 types of profiles: high profile, mid profile, and low profile. On low profile hats, the max we can do is 2 inches high logo. On mid profile, the max we recommend will be 2 inches and 3/4. And on high profile, actually up to 3 inches high.
How large can I make embroidery as a decoration?
That's a great question, because embroidery is based with the stitches, with thread. Imagine your logo this size, full of thread and embroidery. It will take a high amount of stitches, so the cost will be too high. We actually recommend the customers, when they want something large on embroidery, that we actually switch into applique embroidery, which is based on layers of fabric applied with the same embroidery machine that we do the logos embroidery. We actually apply a zigzag stitch to hold the fabric against the apparel.
So what are the minimums in screen printing?
The minimums are 24 units. And this is a screen printing. Screen printing is decoration that we highly recommend once the customer realizes that would like to have a logo of this size, and embroidery will become too heavy on this kind of fabric. We highly recommend to switch into screen printing, which is a soft print decoration.
What is the most common challenge with screen printing?
The most common challenge with screen printing is when logos like this one has fading effects and also have an amount of colors of 9 colors or up. Embroidery and screen printing are similar that way. Embroidery has a limitation of no more than 15 colors per logo, and screen printing has a limitation of 9 colors per print. Screen printing also is the most affordable decoration.
So Mario, this jersey is a great example of a bunch of different types of decoration. Can you walk us through the different decorations that are on this jersey?
Absolutely, Josh. On the right sleeve of this jersey, we have a decoration of screen printing, 2 colors screen printing. And if you would ask me what size we can go for, we actually can as large as the area will cover, which is around 9 inches by 7 inches on the sleeve. We actually were able to screen print on the shoulder our Canadian flag. On this side of the jersey, you're gonna see something very interesting. This is called heat transfer. And probably you may ask me, why do we switch from screen printing to heat transfer? In what situation? Well, this one is the perfect one. You know those little tiny stars? Small details are better to do on heat transfer. Cost is a little bit higher, but this decoration will pick up all the small details that your logo may require. On the front of the jersey, you'll see our decoration of embroidery applique, which is a combination of embroidery zigzag to apply the fabrics and 3 layers of taco twill fabrics. The blue one, the red, and the white one, which is the base. As you see these borders carefully, you will notice that this is actually embroidery. The machine, after applying this zigzag, came back to the logo to apply these fabrics into the bottom layer, which is the white. So with embroidery border, we'll attach all the fabrics into the base layer. On this side, you will notice that we have another full detailed logo. You see all the stars here. On this side, we have the dye sublimation patch, which actually, because the kind of decoration is kind of a heat transfer, but actually it's a heat transfer on high temperatures, 400 degrees. So once the ink on the transfer get heat up at 400 degrees, it convert this ink into gas, and it's actually the gas where it gets transferred into the taco twill fabric to be able to obtain all these kind of details. And it's a soft finish as well. Then the machine, the embroidery machine, will come back to the jersey and sew out the zigzag stitches that you see to hold the patch into the garment. This 62 number is a perfect example. It's actually made as well with dye sublimation. Can you see those stars right here? So those stars are high definition images that we can actually heat transfer or sublimate into the twill fabric. And then the embroidery machine also will come back to the jersey and sew out the patch into the fabric. On the other side of the jersey, we have more decorations. The large version of the heat transfer sublimation. This jersey actually was sublimated from scratch before getting sewn, which is one type of decoration that we offer to our customers.
So when I'm starting a new client, Mario, these are my steps. I want to tell you thumbs up or thumbs down. First thing, check if they currently have samples. Thumbs up, find out the budget or current pricing they have. Find the quantity, size, and the printed colors wanted on the logo. Look at the website wxpromotional.com and find the product in advance.
It would blow your mind. We got a lot of cool stuff on that website.
Request a quote and submit a vector file for the artwork.
Please do so. I highly recommend.
Submit to your planner.
As soon as you can. Thank you for watching us. Westkey Graphics. Two humans? No, this is gonna get too romantic here. This is too romantic.
Just you.
Okay, okay. I feel safe. It's okay. I feel safe. I'll be okay, guys. Don't worry.